Yo, real quick before we get into the video, what you're about to watch is a breakdown of one of our community members' tracks that he sent in. I want to preface that this is not a before and after of the track. He essentially sent in his track and I gave some detailed notes of what he can do to improve his chances of getting it placed. He hopes to get it placed on a sports TV placement show. So if you're someone looking for insight of what you can do to arrange your track, as well as some sound selection choices, as well as different techniques that I personally use to get my tracks placed, then this video is for you. Let's get into it. First off the bat, this is your original track that you created. I did add a little bit to it, so I kind of labeled everything: hook A, verse, build drums, B, first B, and then sting. That way you can be at about 2 minutes, just in case they want the track 2 minutes long. I think you do a good job getting into the arrangement quickly with a nice drop and a nice build. Let's play what you got so far, and then something that I think you can kind of fix immediately. So right here, there's a snare hit that you do right before it drops. That snare hit that you have is off beat. I recommend getting rid of that snare, a little drop that you have. I think you can take it out. You don't really need it there. You do a good job building it already. You already add enough anticipation where the track really brings in energy going into the hook. Good energy. Overall, I feel like it fits really well. I like the beat that you got going on. But one thing I would fix is you have these low impact booms going on. Either take those out or cut a lot of the low end. And when I mean a lot of the low end, I'm talking about taking an EQ and literally taking out like at least 200 on the low end. So I would just do a low cut and then cut like 200. That way you're just using the high end of it, because your bass and your kick all are using this frequency range and all are going to produce most of the energy coming from this part of the track. That little hit impact you have, a lot of it is going to be coming from that high end. Let your kick and 808 occupy this low frequency. It's going to make it sound less muffled and muddy. Nice fill and nice little transition right here. Love this transition that you use right here. When I get to this part right here for this verse, what I hear from me personally, what I think you can do is this string that you add right here, that's a high string. I would put that right here in the verse. So right when this high string comes in right here, I think you could put that there. If you feel like it doesn't really fit or you think it has too much energy, then use that pluck that you use as a layer. It's like a boom, boom, boom. Just keep the drums pretty simple and then build back going into that hook again. So then from there, you're getting right back into it. So at this point where we're getting to the build drums part, I added a little section for you to give you an idea of how I kind of hear it. But this is where you would bring your horn, your brass horn back in, that little stab that you have going on, the main melody, but keep it very simple. Like, instead of boom, 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 you could just do boom, 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 like very light version. Take out some notes that you already have in there of this track. You don't need to add any more elements. You have all of your elements already here in the hook. From the verse sections, how I kind of like to think about it is, what can I take from this hook and just put it into the verse instead of adding things to kind of bring it in there. So let's listen to the drum kind of idea that I had. I'm gonna show you exactly where you can get these drums, because they actually come with Zero to Sync, which is pretty cool. So I did that little drop too. I just took the root note of your horn and I did a little drop right there. I added a little snare hit. These are all from the J Cactus Starter Kit. Let me show you how you can actually find these in your production resources if you haven't already, from the Zero to Sync Notion template. So in your Notion Center, if you look at your dashboard, you'll see these little columns here. In this column where resources is, you'll see music production free drum kits. Highly recommend you downloading the J Cactus Starter Kit if you haven't already. That way you can use the same exact sequence that I use for the little build if you want to. You don't have to. You can change it up, do whatever you want. That's just kind of what I hear. Getting it back into your hook, pretty much the same notes as the first one. You're just doing the little cut for the low impact. And then getting into this verse B section is where, if you didn't introduce that string section in that first verse, then introduce it here. And then keep building it back up, and then all the way towards your sting. Perfect sting, by the way. I really love this sting. I think that one fix with that low impact is really going to clean up the mix too, because I can hear the mix is pretty set set pretty well. Like, you have everything panned nicely. That string is nicely to the left. That horn is kind of to the right. The drums are nice and wide. I feel like you did a good job of putting everything in its right place, but it's a little bit muffled and a little bit muddy just because of that stomp. So that one fix is going to take everything to that next level. I love to hear the greatness that you have so far. I definitely see the potential where you're going with this stuff. I look forward to hearing more tracks from you as well. Thanks so much for sending this in for feedback. Hopefully this helped out. Keep going, man.